I see it
Oh
just
no.
standing under it.
That's hard on your head. Oh my god.
Still?
I don't
Nope.
know how long
There,
she's
you're
going to
good.
be alive.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
What is it?
Oh, okay.
Iron Wolf?
Who has questions? Questions, please go to the question place. If not,
What do you, oops, let's try this.
Can I go to question, please?
Yeah, just
I have a
line up.
question.
Very, very nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Barry. You are
What do you like? What do you like on your waffles?
What I like on my waffles.
Pecan.
The more random, the better. The
Random.
more,
Ooh.
yes, just having a lot of variants, a lot of different topics.
Excellent. Excellent. I will accept.
So, ihr beide sind von Deutschland?
Ja, ich bin von
Ja?
Deutschland.
Von wo?
Ja.
Wo aus?
Von Bielefeld.
Bielefeld.
Direkt aus der Mitte. Sorry, everyone.
Could we have the English translation?
Oh, okay.
Boston
Yeah.
decent time.
Sure. I said, where are you from?
Yes. And I said I'm from the city, Bielefeld. And yeah, that's pretty much in the middle of Germany.
Mhm. Ja, ich bin Schwabe. From Stuttgart area. Heilbronn.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I grew up in the Black Forest, but then I moved here.
Here, where? Oh, to the center?
Yes. At least there are, I mean, there are still a lot of ticks here, but they don't have the disease like you have in the south. So
Right.
that's a win.
Right. And very, very nice.
Oh,
I can be.
Wo bist du, von wo bist du? Kommst du aus?
I am in Western Canada, on the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, okay. We're in Canada. So you're on the west. You're in Vancouver kind of area?
I'm in the Vancouver area, yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty area.
I'll come on
It
up
is very
in.
nice, yeah.
oh, okay, that's it. Your mega font.
Okay. So, I just want to know who the hell are you and what the hell is that behind you?
Oh, that's the new documentation. So Shane is pretty busy rewriting the whole documentation, especially for the new SDK stuff, which hopefully also get a lot more examples added to it. That was my main request for him, that every function you see here in the documentation, there is already a small example. So for example, if you click on the components, Banter audio source, you see in the methods there are already some example code snippets. But I want that we have for every component a full-on working example script, something you can just copy, paste, throw it into your JavaScript, and it completely works without changing anything.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Second question. Where's Shane?
Shane is still on vacation. He will be back tomorrow, I think, or maybe the day
Tomorrow?
after tomorrow. But yeah,
So-
he definitely needed some some distance.
So far, we can do whatever we want?
No, I'm still here.
Shit. Shit. Bye, guys. I'm out of here.
Okay, Divine,
Okay.
your mega point.
Yeah. Would you rather eat chili with beans all your life, or would you rather eat fish all your life?
How
Definitely
fucking
fish.
dare you? Fine. I'm out of here.
Don't eat fish. Fish are friends.
So Banter is
I like this man.
running on top of Unity?
Yes, so it uses Unity for all the base stuff, but also it has a compatibility layer for the full web stack. So you can use 3JS, JavaScript, A-Frame, whatever. It's all just a browser running in the background. Also, all the spaces, they are just website URLs. So you can host directly with SideQuest, but you can also use external services like glitch.me, which we use quite a lot. But also you can just use GitHub pages or host it on your own web server if you have one, if you want to go full private.
Just hook the APIs in.
Yeah, so we always think about that Banter is really just a browser for VR. They're just obviously all the avatar, the networking stuff, and the controller of your character. That's obviously all built in. But yeah, at the end, you can pretty much do anything you want, and soon you can even do even more. Okay, I would say. So you were standing there for quite a while now.
So, hi. Last time me and you talked, we were talking a little bit about visual scripting and whatnot.
Yes.
Yes.
So.
And can you elaborate a little bit on visual scripting and how we can work on that and why that is beneficial to use over, say, full JavaScript or vice versa, JavaScript?
Okay, so first off, it's freaking easy because it's all visually. You see exactly where your signal goes, where it goes, what happens where. And the best part is you don't have to compile anything. You can just be in the editor, press play, run the simulator, and then while the game is running, you can just create the visual scripting graph. So you can like program while playing, which I absolutely love because most of the time I have no clue what I'm doing. So I'm just play the editor and then just plug in different nodes and see what's happening until I get something that works. So that's, I would say, it's easy to use, instant feedback, and next one I would say, good question. Yeah, but it's quite far advanced. So I can't promise it, but I'm really hoping we go for a release next week. Maybe already Tuesday, but I can't promise anything. I just can tell you we are pretty far, so everything is working. The build I'm currently using has full support already. There is a test space. It's called x.band.ing, but you won't really see anything in there with your client. But everything is pretty crazy in there because that's just my playground where I'm testing everything and where I'm also started creating a lot of example snippets, like building a physical button that works, building a lever where you really can control other things. I built a debug tool
About
like
time.
a little
Working
yeah.
levers. Whoa.
Yes. So it's not just on and off, but also the steps in between. So you
The
can
variable.
just yes,
Variable
exactly. You
interaction.
can control anything with those
Variable
values.
interactive.
And yeah, also a small debug tool I integrated there, which just allows you to inspect your scene while in the game. For example, that you can just check all the objects, what components do they have, what's their position in the world, and yeah, all those nice little things, which mainly is just built to see how far you can stretch it. So what's the limit of visual scripting? But I realize it's super helpful when you, especially when you want to do more stuff with JavaScript in combination, and then you just jump into the URL, you pull up the debug tool, and you say, okay, I want to place over here, for example, a screen, or
Mm.
you want to load anything with JavaScript, you just point the debug tool in there. You get exactly the values you need, and then you can just insert that into the JavaScript code, which for me it was always so freaking annoying to get this right and place anything with JavaScript.
Yeah, the coordinates. Speaking of JavaScript, and maybe I am blonde and don't fully understand things when I ask this question, but I know that we have, with the new system, we will have 3 kit bundles and whatnot. What if we have several different JavaScripts and whatnot? How would we go about that then? Like, what is the best way to, like, do we incorporate them in a kit bundle, or like, I don't know if you understand what I mean by this, because like right now we are limited to 1 kit bundle and a lot of people have your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, when you host with SideQuest with the band.ing subdomain, you are limited to 1 JavaScript file where you have to put everything in there, what you need. But when you host on your own, it's like on Glitch, you can still use the same workflow as before. So you can just have as many JavaScripts as you want, and then just calling them with the HTML file.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, I say it's still no problem to just have everything in 1 JavaScript file where you have different functions and you're just calling them when you need them. I mean, it's pretty much how a large chunk of the video player works. It's just a huge JavaScript file.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I think I've gotten the question, gotten all my questions asked, so I'm gonna step down and
Okie
hope
dokie.
that anybody else is going up to the questionnaire thingy and ask some cool questions.
Yeah, and if not, I'm continue to talk about visual scripting because I'm super hyped for it. So yeah, for example, since we can't allow every node because we don't want anyone to just have access to your device, for example, in the base system of visual scripting, it is possible to just get system.file, which allows the creator to have access to your device, and then they could just search through your hard drive and upload your files to a server. So that's functions we completely removed from visual scripting, that nobody can use those, which
That's good.
yeah, I mean, could be cool if you use it, but the danger is
No,
too
it's a
high
good
that some
security
people
measure.
would use it on a bad behavior. But the nice thing is we have a system in the SDK. So if you use any nodes, so by default, we really try to already exclude any node from the visual scripting editor. So by default, we do all the setup, and then you should only see the nodes you can actually use. But there are still a few nodes that will show up. But as soon as you start the play mode, you will get an error message that will tell you exactly which node you added, which is not allowed. And then there is this nice little extension for visual scripting. It's on the asset store, but it's completely free. It's called Node Finder, and it's a super nice tool. So if you start with visual scripting, you absolutely have to get this little asset because it's just essential must-have. And yeah, what it does, it just it finds your nodes. So just paste the name in, what the console says, which node is not allowed, and it will jump directly into the graph where this node is and show it to you. Also, what we currently have is that if a node is in a graph that is not allowed and you just ignore it, the space will still build and upload, but the whole graph where the single node is part of that is not allowed won't run at all. But at least everything else runs. So we took some inspiration from some other applications that allow visual scripting for modding, and most of them don't even allow building and uploading when you have a node in there which is not allowed, which we thought could be a little bit annoying because sometimes you just have some leftovers where you were just playing around and testing stuff, and it's still better that you only limit the graph where you have the not allowed nodes in there instead of just blocking everything. So everything else will still work, but yeah. Always keep an eye on the console when you build and when you test to see if there's anything in there which shouldn't be. Okay, Wilson.
Yeah,
Your
I was
makeup
wondering.
part.
I was wondering what the future is for hand tracking on a Quest. I know it's more of a niche device, but because this is like a cross-platform.
Oh,
But
no,
what are
no,
the
no. It's not niche, and it's quite important for us. So currently we are, we hired a professional from the AAA game industry, and he is actually rebuilding the whole character controller from scratch, also with hand tracking directly included. So it's, yeah, there will be different modes how you can actually then locomote with hand tracking, because obviously that's a big deal. But yeah, some people like the jogging movement. Some people absolutely hate it. Then there is this movement where you just pinch and then you drag your hand forward like you are on a rubber band and those kind of things. But yeah, it will definitely come, and yeah, I'm really looking forward.
okay?
It's super excited for me. Also, I really hope we get some events done where we can showcase the current progress of the new character controller, but already it is really promising and it's already a lot of fun playing around with. For example, let me quickly show you this. When I'm standing here on the sledge, I can't walk over it, right? And we see this problem almost everywhere, which is so freaking annoying that you get stuck everywhere.
It's like
The new
object
character,
collision.
yes, but the new character controller, you can really smoothly automatically walk over stairs and steps. It's so freaking awesome. And what is even cooler, you can change the friction of your feet. So if you really want, you can just walk up walls and you can do wall runs. And I
Wall
think that's
runs.
when we get the really cool stuff.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
oh no. Oh
Oh
no,
no,
it's
not
so
this again.
slippery.
Teleport.
Oh. In the head again.
Looks like
You'll
a
know
hat.
it now.
Yeah, it looks like a big hat now.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
So you said
Okay,
wall runs? Like you could run up a wall?
not just up a wall, but also on a wall. So you can just do
Ooh.
like this. So real parkour will be possible, which will be freaking awesome. Because currently also the jumping, I mean, a lot of you, yeah, some of you might maybe got used to it, but for me personally, the jumping still is not really good with the current character controller, and obviously climbing. Climbing absolutely sucks, and yeah, all those things will be so much better.
Man, imagine
Can't
the
hype
fun we
enough.
can have in the back rooms now when this is finished.
Mm.
You said possibly a release coming next week, maybe.
Yeah, yes, for visual scripting, definitely. So
Okay.
it's really in the final steps, and yeah, I can't 100% promise, but it's looking good. Okay, Divine.
Okay, first I want to say your slippers are amazing and I love them. And I
Don't
also,
tell Chu.
I was just, I also, well, the whole outfit that you made, but I also want to say that I was reminded about the wonderful world that you made for the sleepover at the last event, and I just want to thank you for that because that was amazing. And the pillows were an extra touch; it was just amazing. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's all I
Thanks,
have.
but
I have no questions.
yeah, but also something with the pillow space. Actually, there was something missing, which I wanted to
What's
add,
it?
but due to the limitations of the old Unity SDK, it was not so easy possible. I want to add functions that you can just use blankets and build a little castle with it. But
Blanket forts.
yeah,
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh.
yeah, that the
Maybe next
problem
time.
was
Next time.
it was just not possible with the basic SDK we currently have in Unity. But yeah, next
Next time.
sleepover, definitely we
Yeah.
get those functions, and then we have a real pillow castle builder. Okay,
Awesome.
Watson, you are megaphone.
Um, yeah. So also, I was wondering before I start promoting Banter on my social group that I own, on Facebook group that I own, VR group. Um, when is a good time to? When is it? Are we? Is it still in beta or is it considered release?
No,
Banter.
Banter is still in early access beta, and I would say there always is a good time to talk about it. But I mean, the thing is, if we say, okay, our next big milestone is the new menu, which our lead developer is currently working on. But then after this, we have the full character overhaul, custom avatar overhaul. Then we have the new character controller overhaul. And if you always say, okay, let's wait for the next big update until more cool stuff is added, you'll never get to a point where you say,
Right.
okay, now it's good to talk about it because there's always cool new stuff on the horizon where we're looking forward to. I mean,
Okay.
maybe the day will come where we say, okay, now it's perfect, but I highly doubt we'll get there.
Right.
Mostly in beta.
Okay. And the other question was, one of the benefits of Banter, I would say, would be I've been with social media, VR social apps for many, many years. And out of all of them, I think the biggest top five issue is age group restrictions. What's the forward thinking on how to control that?
So currently it's pretty much all manual control. So all the admins and moderators have a look for underage kids and instantly ban them from spaces. But in the future, also there will probably be a age verification process on the SideQuest account, and this will completely block underage kids already
How
from
would that be
actually.
enforced?
Um, it's mainly if someone gets flagged for being underage, then they probably have to prove it with their ID that they are not underage, and if they can't prove it, then they can't use the platform anymore until they are no longer underage, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. One idea or possibility, I'm sure that you'll have already thought about it, but you charge everybody like $1, and on the credit card, I think there's an age limit to own a credit card with your name on it.
Yes, that's right. But you always have the problem that there are
Don't like that.
quite a lot of countries that where it's not really people don't really have credit cards or use credit cards. For example, for me in Germany, it's really rare that people have credit cards because people here just hate credit cards because they don't want to own the bank money, for example.
Right.
It's like a mindset thing, and yeah, I think it's mainly not good to enforce those things, and also we don't want to charge money for it because we're just here for the fun. That's mainly
Yeah.
all.
I mean, my whole point was just that big screen and VR chat. Everybody knows that VR chat is ruined from the squeakers and the underage kids. You know, they can have their own playground or whatever, but there's no controls in that, and they never thought about that, I think, in the beginning. And it's something that you need to talk about in the beginning. How are you going to filter and
Yeah,
implement that?
yes. So mainly I would really say it's all on reporting. So people have to report someone to be underage, and then they probably getting flagged for being underage, and either they get completely banned from the platform or they just being completely locked into the AFK jail. Or I don't know, we can build some playground space where all the kids land, and yeah, they
That
can't
would be
interact with anyone
awesome.
else. We
Is
mm,
that is
yeah,
Have
that
a big
on
yeah,
user?
statue of Shane.
So is
I mean,
that on username based, or how are you going to keep kids some 10-year-old from recreating an account and going on and like it's like malicious
that
actors and
yeah,
security?
that's something you can't really prevent. People can always create new accounts. But yeah, as soon as they start squeaking around or behaving, yeah, bad, then they're instantly getting flagged again. And yeah, the idea was we were thinking about a lot of possibilities. For example, like ghost banning, that they are just in a special instance. So they can still join the event, they are still here, but they are in an instance no one can see. So they are completely locked away from everyone else. They still feel like they are here, they are part of it, but yeah, nobody can see them. They can only see the people that are on Megaphone because Megaphone users will be mirrored to all instances. But yeah,
If you have multi-factor authentication and you've got, or if you're entwined with side loading, and that means that the developer and user account, that would be harder for them to recreate another account. If you make it harder and just a pain in the ass, they're not going to do it as often. So I think that's
yeah,
already in place since it is side quest kind of.
yeah. I mean, if you make it harder, the problem is that you scare away people that just want
Right.
to have a look for it. And at least for me personally, when I want to check out a new platform or a new service and they want me to jump through several hoops just to get an account running to test it,
Yeah,
I'm instantly out. I
right.
don't have the patience for that.
Right. I
So,
agree. I understand that point too. There's a balance, yeah.
yes. Also, I mean, we were also thinking about the advantages you have when people are in VR. For example, you can tell people they have to stand and make a T pose, so holding their arms straight, and then you measure the distance between the hands. And if it's too small, then you know it's probably a kid, but also again you can get false positives for people that are just
Right.
We
very
had a
small.
lot of false
Uh,
positive on that on Horizon because people took the controller down on the floor, used their toes to hold one controller and put it in. Like you had to hold the stick and you had to like drag it and like hold it for so and so many seconds, and the squeakers ended up using their toes to click the one button on one controller and the other hand. So they got in that way too. You can't prevent it, but it is a stopgap measure that will prevent, I would say, up to 90% of them.
Yeah, it's
That's
a good
Yeah.
barrier
a
for
genius thing. I never thought of
Yeah,
that.
then you just tell them to jump while holding the controllers. Now
I mean,
jump.
they
Tell
can
them,
always they can always ask a friend, and then they can do
Yeah,
it
if you have
together, and then
two
yeah,
persons.
that's
this
true.
will.
Yeah.
But it
most
makes it
Yeah, but
12-year-olds
harder
are
and
taller than
yeah.
me. Most 12-year-olds are taller than me.
I'm not
these
even
days.
joking. Me too.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
me
we're
too.
excluding
Taller and
Lisa.
My 16-year-old is a lot taller than me. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, those are wild times, and maybe AI is getting to a point where it's quite efficient and easy to determine what age you are based
Yeah.
on the voice, based on body language, based on how your headset is tracked, and so on.
Hmm.
So,
That's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the right time to think about those things. But lucky for us, we don't have this problem yet so badly. I mean, I don't want to play it down. There are already quite a lot of squeakers joining here, and I'm happy when I see people just banning them on the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just refreshing compared to Horizon or VR chat where you can't go anywhere without someone jumping on you and screeching into your ear.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
and
really
once you
bad when
build,
the parents let them get on here, though. I mean, when they say that it's okay, that's when it's really bad.
They're just
Yeah.
here for the Spider-Man, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That was an instance we had earlier tonight.
Uh-huh.
A parent said, "Yeah, what's the harm? They are just here for the Spider-Man."
yeah,
6 years old. 6 years
once a
old.
once a
Yeah.
platform gets a blemish reputation for something like that, it's hard to go backwards. I'm just saying, that's why that's what happened to VR chat, and Horizon is becoming that way because Horizon looks like a nonsense cartoon considering how much resources they have, and the squeakers are on there, so they're
Hey,
getting
let's
bad
resemble that
reputation.
remark.
Platform.
Says the person coming from Horizon.
Yeah, I mean,
Very sort of-
at the end, you have to see that, especially on Quest, majority of users are just kids because that's just. I can only talk for myself, but that's like the time where we had the N64 or the PlayStation 1, and for those
Mhm.
kids, it's now the Quest, this console. And yeah, I can't really be mad about them, but I just think they shouldn't be online playing. They just keep them in the offline games and everything is fine.
Right. Or they have plenty of areas, playgrounds they can go to now, like VR chat and all those other ones that have been ruined by that
Yeah, but
by that
still, I
reputation.
mean, maybe I have just a controversial opinion about this, but I think kids shouldn't be on the internet at all. It's just
No,
not
I
good for them.
agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yep. I
Yeah.
take
I
my
mean,
son
at the
off.
end of the
Yep.
day, VR's no different to chat rooms, and you can potentially get groomers anywhere. And to think
Yeah.
that you can allow your kid to put a headset on at 6 year old and let them loose in a room full of adults that they don't know is quite scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's parent education,
Exactly.
the lack of parenting,
No.
basically. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's parents stupid. There's just stupid parents out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
I
stupid, I
tried to
would say
resign.
lazy. The kids
Well,
are
Yeah.
screaming, here,
Yeah.
take the iPhone, play with
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
well,
Exactly.
That's what they're doing.
Stupid sometimes is just following what they think is okay without looking into it. It's like they could learn a little bit more about what their kids are doing, but they don't. I mean, we see it in real life all the time.
That's called
I
parenting. Yeah.
I do have a
I mean,
question though, Eileen. Is it possible to create for the individual user of or owner of a space a form of a whitelist or a simple way to add people to this so-called whitelist to get into further into the world, for example?
I mean, you can definitely do something with JavaScript that you have just a list with the user IDs, and then you just have a forwarding. So everyone that's not in this list will instantly get forwarded to another space like the AFK jail or back to Crystal Lake or anywhere else. And only people that are in your list will stay in this space. That's how you could do it. For example, is Gemchick here? I don't think so. But yeah, we had this little joke where we added a whitelist actually for the announcer in the video player. That when Gemchick joined, it always said things
Oh,
and
yeah.
something.
Mark the car in the Harvard Yard.
I remember.
Yes,
Oh,
so that's pretty much the same approach you go there, but instead of just using the the if statement to use a different text to speech sentence, you can just do everyone else excluded forward other space. I mean, what else you could actually do is you could have a number lock. So you just come into an empty space, and then there is just a huge keypad, and you have to press the right button combinations, and then it teleports you into a different area of the space where you can only get with the teleport, or even throws you into a complete different space, which isn't featured and is completely private and hidden.
Yeah. They tried something similar like that in Horizon, and kids managed to get a hold of some of the codes there too. So they're resourceful little kiddos,
yeah.
but at the same time, that's an excellent way to do it, like having a code to get in, if people can remember it. Like, I mean, unless you want to do forward 20 as a code, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, what you can also do, you can just do the good old grabbing two things. So you just have one ball on the left, one ball on the right, and you have to stretch your arm so wide that only you can touch it. But yeah, so you have the problem. As
Yeah.
Lisa said already, that people will
Yeah, I
find a
never
way
heard of
around
that.
this.
I think that's a pretty good idea, though. I mean, it's a pretty ingenious way of getting bigger people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
we
have to
have
be at least
basketball
this
kids,
tall.
so all the basketball kids can get on.
But I mean, we as a community can also not help the kiddos to get an account, and then we can go with the guest not allowed, which means that we will be very like we don't help the kids, but we help all the adults. So that's also a one way to go about it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, they're probably going to get annoyed and start screeching around, but then ban and off they go.
Thing is, the kids are so good with tech now, they probably figure out pretty quickly on their own how to set up their account. It tends to be old people like me that needs help because your brain doesn't work as well.
That's why this young one will always be here to help you all out.
God, you sounded like you're like 80 or something. You're not. Yeah.
Why you oh my god it for?
You're
I
not
feel like I
good enough.
monetize.
Yeah, actually, I'm not so sure about this. So,
To you after.
in my experience, everyone who grew up
Okay.
already with a smartphone, they are like, yeah, cavemen when it comes to using a computer, for example, or just anything that is outside of a smartphone. It's
Yeah.
it's really scary when I can only tell
Yeah.
from my own experience, but my I have two brothers and they are 10 and 11 years younger than I am. So they already grew up
Wow.
completely with iPhones and everything. And it's just shocking that they don't know anything and they call me when they have problems with their iPhone. And I don't even have an iPhone. All I'm doing then, I'm Googling their shit to help them.
Well,
Yeah.
having
Right?
I know
I'll
what
be
you
a little
mean. I know what
biased,
you
a
mean.
little politically correct here, but if you have an iPhone, then you're probably not technical. Sorry.
Preach.
Smartphones
I
are
know.
now
Android.
expensive as shit.
iPhones are for or smartphones for dumb people.
Yep.
That's why I stick to my Nokia brick.
You're not wrong.
Yes. Embrace
I
the
did
Nokia.
I just
I
pull
did
out the
have
big
a
old
quick
Nokia.
another question. Sorry. Unless anyone
Yes.
else needs to has a question.
No, go ahead.
In the future, what I'd like to do is I'm starting to launch happy hours with my Facebook group, and we're all meeting up in VR. And we met up in big screen over the couple of years, once in a while, every quarter or so. But I'd like to start moving everybody to Banter. The biggest advantage in big screen is the sharing of desktop. Now, that's possible. I have my own room in Banter now. It's possible to integrate that, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually there are several ways since this is just a browser and also the screen sharing is just done in a browser. There are also other services you could use. For example, there is this website Watch Together where you probably everyone has to log in on PC too, but then you can just stream the screen from this room code from Watch Together, and then everyone can just, yeah, share their screen. And you, as an admin, you can just manage it, who is now on the big screen in here. And people can put on playlist videos or stream directly media from their computer if you want to do some movie night or something like this.
So you can stream a browser window.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, even more, it's I can really just recommend have a look at Watch Together with a 2. So watch, then the number 2, and then together. I think it's .com. Could be something else. I have to check it. Yeah, but it's screen sharing, it's YouTube links, videos, it's Twitch streams, it's local media files you can directly cast. It's pretty much everything you can think of. And the nice thing
Okay.
is you can just have, I think it's until 16 people for each room. So that can be in the same instance. So actually 15 because one instance has to be the
The
browser
host.
here in Banter, yes. But everyone can just add the content you want to watch together to the playlist. And I think that's the cool part because someone can say, oh yeah, I want to just show this quickly here on my computer and stream it. Someone else says, oh, I have here this cool video I took on vacation, and then they just do media streaming. And
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
the only problem with the system, at least with the old browser we have in here, is that you, especially if you are from Germany, you get the stupid please allow all cookies pop up, which, yeah, definitely we need some way to hide this. So currently it's also happening with the YouTube player normally, but well,
There's more security implemented in the European standard.
yeah,
Is your mic cut
but
out?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
there you
mainly just that we can just hook into